Hello, HIS 711 students. My name is Ronald Picciarelli, and today I'm going to be talking about liberty and freedom in theory and in practice. Now, since many of us are under lockdown from the COVID-19 crisis, this is certainly an excellent time to discuss our freedoms and individual liberties. The concepts of freedom and liberty come from ancient Greece and Rome. In ancient Greece, the idea of freedom uh, basically is from Aristotle, where Aristotle believed that only a very small group of people could truly exhibit his ideas of absolute freedom. And these were basically independently wealthy men who were free to do as they pleased. They were not under any kind of domination. Where the idea of liberty comes into that. Liberty comes from ancient Rome, and the idea of it is means libertas is from libertas, and it's a form of non-domination where you're not dominated by someone, let's say a boss in a job or something like that. Cicero discussed his idea of liberty. And in Cicero's idea of liberty, he discussed it with the non-examples of the Gracchus brothers, where Tiberius and Gaius Gracchus were exhibiting too much liberty, and that it would end up in anarchy for the whole state. Cicero also was well acquainted with how much liberty and civil rights citizens have as they were confined to the authority of the state. When Cicero was a consul, he helped to stop the Catiline conspiracy, which is very famous in the ancient world, where Catiline was a senator who was trying to overthrow the power of the Roman Republic and set up something a little bit different and stuff. But Cicero ended up using all of the civil powers that he had to stop Catiline in doing this. And Cicero basically put limits to someone's freedom and their liberty. Most ancients believed that there were limits to freedom and liberty, and they sided with Cicero. When our founding fathers took these ancient ideas and embodied them in the United States Constitution, and right before that into the Articles of Confederation, they were worried about how much rights a citizen had, the civil rights of a citizen, as compared to the authority of the state. Since we had just had the revolution, to secede or overthrow the authority of the state, where King George III was seen as acting as a tyrant, our founding fathers were very cognizant of how much civil rights an individual has and how much authority a state has. According to Thomas Jefferson, who was very much in favor of the states having more rights than the federal government, and the states would tell the government how much power the government had to them. David Livingston, in our readings, says that this Jeffersonian concept of states' rights was the dominant concept from 1787 with the Constitutional Convention, all the way until 1860 with the election of Abraham Lincoln. Now, we see that during the American Civil War, where half the country wanted to secede from the power of the authority of the federal government. We see that as something that is going to tear the country apart. And Lincoln's vision of the authority of the state is very much a top down idea where there are very much limits to the civil rights of the citizen in each state, and very much a limit to states' rights as it is interpreted into the Constitution. So here we have two different ideas about how much liberty we actually get and how much freedom we actually have in our free country. And we can kind of think about that as we're on mandatory lockdowns from the state telling us that we cannot leave our homes and travel freely. So it goes to have us think about how much freedom and liberty we actually have. So I thank you for your attention.